Welcome to the Witches and Prose podcast. My name is Haley Camarillo, author of Fury and Flame, book one of the Witching Hour series, which will be out this fall. Today I have with me the lovely author, Isla Dylan. She has her debut Billionaire romance that's coming out, Too Lost to Be Found. It is up for pre-order right now, and it comes out July 25th of this month, so in about 2 weeks. A little bit over a week. Hi, thank you so much for being on today. I'm so glad to have you. Of course. Thank you for having me. Of course. So can you tell me a little bit about Too Lost to Be Found?
Okay, it's a loss to lovers, so both parties in the book have lost someone very dear to them. They're both dealing with their grief in very different ways, and they happen upon each other, and Lachlan takes Martha under his wing and tries to sort of help her past her grief, and then they kind of come together. It's a case of whether they can help each other or whether they make each other worse, really.
Ooh, I like that. Very cool. So what inspired Too Lost to Be Found?
All of my books have always been inspired by music, and actually this was one song, I Lived by One Republic. The song just sort of spoke to me, and I thought, actually, I really like that, and I started jotting notes down, and it just turned itself into a story.
I love that. That's so awesome. So music plays a huge role in your writing process?
Yes, definitely.
That is amazing. Music is super powerful for me, so I always have little scenes from that are inspired by songs. So I love that. That's really awesome to find another person who has that going on with them. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing journey? How did it start?
Well, I never thought I would write anything at all. I've read for years, love books, will always have a book in my hand reading. People have said to me before, you've read enough, surely you can write something now. And I was like, yeah, no, this is me. I don't do writing. But actually, during lockdown, when we had nothing to do, I quit my job just to look after the children. And music was all over the house. And I just kept thinking to myself, that'd be a really good story. And all the songs sort of went together, and they started becoming a story that I couldn't stop thinking about. And every time I'd have a quiet moment, the story would play out in my mind. So I sort of decided to write it down. And then once I'd written the whole story down, I was like, I think I want to publish this. And it was kind of like, do I be brave enough and self-publish it, or do I just leave it sitting on my computer doing nothing? And I thought, you know what, no, I'm going to do it. So I did. I launched it, and I loved the writing process. I have to say, the marketing process, I'm not quite enjoying quite so much, but the writing process I really enjoyed. So then when I heard One Republic, I thought, I can get a story out of that one as well. I just carried on, and this one I've actually enjoyed even more than my first one. So yeah, I'm just going to keep going now.
That is so exciting. I love that. That is really awesome. So since there's a romance, what is the spice level like? Is it spicy? Is it a little bit more fade to black?
Okay, so it's definitely spicy. My ARC readers have had mixed reviews as to whether it is spicy or not. So there are not too many scenes, if that makes sense, but the detail within those scenes is extra spicy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Totally understand.
Two promises to be a lot spicier.
No, that's okay. I like that. That reminds me of how mine is. So there's not too many scenes, but the scenes that do happen have a lot of spice in them.
Yeah, they pack a punch.
Awesome. So what is your writing process like? You said that you really loved the writing process. So can you tell us what was your favorite part about it?
So I found the words just came out of me. I started with a booklet for writing down different things that sort of ideas that popped into my head. Then I found myself not going back through that booklet, and just as I was typing, the words came to me. I didn't need to sit and plan it and plot wise and everything else. There are a few things I thought, all right, I need to remember that, but actually it just comes out. I don't need to sit and write down everything, which has been lovely. So when people have read it, make sure it was okay for me. They didn't get confused, they understood it, and I was like, oh, actually this makes sense.
That's always so reassuring, especially because when the words just come out, sometimes it feels like this is too easy. There has to be something I'm missing. So that's really awesome and reassuring that once it was done, everyone was like, no, this is great.
Yeah, I have a lovely beta reader who I send chapters to as they're written. So she pulls me back if I've started to go wrong somewhere, but it helps keep me on track.
No, that beta readers and critique partners and all those, they're so important. And that's so awesome that you have that support. So do your stories tend to be more plot driven or more character driven, would you say?
Character driven, definitely. That it's the characters speak to me, so it's just that their words have to come out onto paper.
That is awesome. I love that. So what would you say was your biggest struggle with writing Too Lost to Be Found?
I'm not great with words, so trying to make sure I don't repeat myself too often and to just the basics of writing. But getting better the more I go, and obviously I have a fabulous editor that goes through and helps me, but it's more that side of things that I struggle with more than anything else.
Okay. Totally, absolutely fair. I get that so much. And especially when you're just writing everything down, it's hard to remember what you're repeating and what you're not. So, okay, so do you have a favorite character in your book that you could tell us about?
I actually like Sally. She's Lachlan's PA, but she's really ballsy and likes to get in there and kick him to the curb and make sure he's in line. Even though he's the alpha male, she manages to really get in there and jibe at him all the time.
I love that. That is awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about what Lachlan's like?
He inherited the company that he runs at a very young age. His grief is inbuilt inside him, and he doesn't seem to realise that it's controlling him. So he is very much an alpha male, but he also has this very compassionate, warm side, and it's obvious to those around him, but anyone on the outside just sees this dominant man.
I like that. And do you have a favorite scene or a favorite quote that you can share with us without being too spoilery? I don't want to spoil anything.
I do have a favorite scene. For me, I love their interaction when they're joking with each other. And there's a scene towards the end where they go on a bike ride because Martha is a travel journalist and she has to go out and do reviews on various things. And she forces him to go with her. He makes an inappropriate comment to the lady that's running the event, and she drops her bike. But it's just that banter between them and the humor in that scene that I really, really like.
That is awesome. I love that. So that is really fun. I think that we are actually through with all of the questions. We flew through those. You did so awesome. Thank you so much for being on today and for talking to me. I'm really, really excited to read Too Lost to Be Found. And again, it comes out July 25th. It is up for pre-order right now. So go get a copy if you can. And yeah, thank you so much for being on today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it. It's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
Good, of course. And thank you guys for watching the Witches and Prose podcast. We will see you next time.